All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. Today and the next 4 days, we have a very unique or special episodes planned, right? We're doing this Hermes Agent Bootcamp completely free. The goal here is to give you that foundational knowledge and setup to another Clearmud live stream. That foundational knowledge and setup so that you can set up your very own Hermes Agent system, or at the very least optimize an existing system that may not be working properly. So without squirrel ado, let's build. Now, before we get started, obviously, we're going to have a little bit of a delay between now and when we actually start. So if you're watching this recording down the road, just fast forward a few minutes. We're just going to wait for chat to fill up and get the vibes rolling, eh? Yo, what's up, Sharma? How we doing this morning? Or this evening for you? Is audio not in sync? It looks good on my end. Maybe try refreshing the page. What you heard there was a brief me having the live stream open in the background. So that's probably why you thought audio was out of sync. That was my bad. I forgot to mute the tab. That's just to make sure I go live properly. Hey, appreciate you, Mr. Baker. Yeah, we'll have a Q&A at the very end, right? This isn't going to be like our normal live streams where we're just jamming back and forth and pinning all the comments. We're going to go through our checklist of priorities for the day, for the foundation, for this fresh Hermes Agent system that I have sandboxed in this Ubuntu VM. Now, if you are just kind of like some prerequisites, if you're watching this recording, come prepared, right? I'm not going to show you how to install Hermes Agent. It's the expectation that you already have it installed. So whether it's a fresh install or an existing installation, I think this will benefit. Oh, it wasn't. Very interesting. I need to, sorry about that. Yeah, I need to figure out what's going on there. Huh. Weird. Very weird. How's everyone doing today, though? What's up, Sean? How we doing? Kaval, how we doing today? Yeah, I'm actually excited to build out this fresh Hermes Agent system with 5.6 Sol. Who else, like, how's everybody, like, first impressions? I got carried away yesterday. I recorded 7 videos, and I lost track of time. So I didn't post our video yesterday. I had to post it today because I finished the edit right before we went to bed. So I had to export it overnight. Interesting. Okay, good to know. I'll troubleshoot this off air. But I'm curious, what has everyone built with 5.6 Sol? As you found in the video that I just posted today, I took a crack at building a website factory. I was just blown away by how little input it needed from me after the initial planning phase. And I mean, we're deploying that as soon as possible, and it's just going to start automating, finding businesses, building them websites, reaching out to them on my behalf. I'm very excited about that project. I want to scale that up to 10 a day, but first we're focused on one niche, one location, and then we're going to expand into other cities once we dial in the process. I built a lot of other stuff too. Had it take a crack at other projects I'm working on, and I'm just thoroughly impressed. And the cost. I did this Fable versus GPT 5.6 Sol token meter comparison video. Yeah, you'll have to wait for that video. I was just impressed with how cheap it is and how smart it is. It's just kind of insane. I'm excited. I don't know exactly how it goes, but that's funny. After using Sol all day in Agent Zero, I'm going to completely rebuild my Hermes Agent setups around Sol. Hey, who knows? Maybe I adopt this Bootcamp Hermes Agent system as my primary. I don't know. I've put a lot of work into mine, though, so I don't think I would, to be honest. Man, now you guys have me curious about that full screen. All right, how many people do we have in here? Let's Let's refresh. Okay, 13 of you. Well, hey, I want to thank you for being here. If you haven't already, it's only for the boot camps that I do this, but the boot camp will not start until the number of likes equal the number of viewers. So if you're in here and you're excited, just smash that like button and we'll get started. This is the only time I ever ask. On my normal live streams, I do not care. So, yeah. It really is a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. Listen, I'm excited for this weekend's episodes of this bootcamp because with 5.6 Soul, I'm adding to the curriculum. We're getting a little creative and we're going to see what it can and cannot do. I think the sky's the limit here. We're only limited by our imagination. While I want to keep this bootcamp focused around foundational knowledge and demonstration, we're gonna squirrel a bit. If you're new to the channel, we like to squirrel. We kind of get off topic from time to time, but I will do my absolute best to follow these steps that I've laid out on our bootcamp page on the website here. Okay. So let's go peek into number 1. Let's make this a little bit larger. Yeah, so today, let's make sure we set our primary model provider, fallback provider, Hermes Agent dashboard access, dashboard backup before updates, what plugins we're going to use, desktop app or remote access path. I forgot to remove this. We may very well co-locate this into a later episode. Shell styling, floating chat bubble, we'll get that up and running. Excited to set the kind of personality, the soul for our main agent in this agent system. And then we're going to enable one of the built-in memory providers, Holographic. And then we're going to set up the Telegram and delivery channel. I think that's a solid first episode. I think one thing that we're missing here is, yes, backup rules, operator brief, memory rules, shell. One thing that's missing on this episode 1 kit is we're also going to set up just a very basic cron so that we can fine tune it throughout the bootcamp. This is my preferred method of creating and optimizing a scheduled job or a daily brief for that matter, is to just vibe the first version of it. And then depending on its output, you then give it feedback. Now, if you already know what you want, how you want it to look, what channels you want it to be sent to, then by all means, get as detailed as you'd like on this first automation. But we'll be getting more and more into automations on episode 3, which falls on Sunday. Hey, appreciate you. Yo, Duval, welcome. How we doing today? Happy Friday. And Soul's so close to Fable, but at a fraction of the cost. We get it tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. It's when we deploy. It's the multi-agent team episode, right? Tomorrow's all about agents versus sub-agents and when to use one versus the other, as well as asynchronous background tasks. And then we're setting up that multi-agent team. Yeah. That's a very good description of it. Hey, what's up, Corey? Welcome. Glad you can join us. I thought you were gonna have to watch this recording. Let's go. I mean, what are your specs right now? I think this will be helpful for anybody watching. I'm very curious. Wait a second. DDR3 RAM shouldn't be that expensive, right? I bought some old SODIMM. It's like the laptop-sized ECC memory for this micro ATX that I have back there. And I think I ended up getting 16 gig chips at, what was the breakdown? $35 a pop? On eBay. I didn't buy them brand new. Bought them refurbished. Yo, what's up, Pokemon? How we doing today? We'll get started here in a moment. So, as I mentioned earlier, I do not start boot camps until the number of likes equal the number of viewers. So we're at 10 likes and 13 watching. Or 15 watching now. So just smash that like button if you haven't already and we can get started. And for those of you who know me, you know I never ask. But we got to pump this video up. Just smash that like. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. We're almost there. We're almost there. It's an i5 4th gen, 8 gigs of RAM, no GPU, 5.5 terabyte SSD, and then 1 terabyte for storage. Yeah, listen, honestly, that should be good enough to start, you know? That should be good enough to start. I think it's once you know, have more than a handful of agents with their own gateways spun up that are always on, right? Hey, don't talk to me about old setups. All my stuff is rather new. That little micro ATX on the desk is new. That's got 128 gigs of DDR5 with the AI Max Plus 395 APU. And but the desktop below that, I still have it running. It's a 3rd gen i7. I think I got 24 gigs of RAM in there. And then a 660 Ti. It is so old, but it works. I primarily use it as a headless remote desktop to safely remote into this network without having to SSH into a server or, you know, do any port forwarding that way. Yeah. Micro slop. You know, that's honestly one of the first times I've heard it presented that way. And I've been in the IT industry my whole life. I've never heard somebody call Microsoft micro slop. That's hilarious. That's great. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. So we're at 13 likes and 16 watching. We just need 14 and 16. Okay, we just need 2 more. 2 more. I need to get some type of like meter that just chimes when it smashes the button. This weekend I get the new, ooh, you get that new MacBook Air. Nice, nice. It's not much, but I'm upgrading. Hey, that's a big upgrade. That's a big jump right there. And you said it's an M5 MacBook Air with 24 gigs? That's a big jump. That's a big jump. Oh, you already know. Built it before USB-C existed and it doesn't have Bluetooth. I don't have a way to connect to a headset. Wait, why did your message just get... I saw it? Oh, you deleted it. Okay. Sorry to call you out. Yeah, I think you can, right? All right, guys and girls, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're at 16 likes and 18 of you watching. All we need is 2 more, and we start the demonstration here. In the meantime, I will prep. I won't hold you guys hostage like that. I'm not that type. So let's first spin up Hermes in the terminal. Now, if you're curious on how I set this one up, I actually set this up on a live stream, I believe Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So you can go back to Monday's live stream and just watch me set up this sandboxed VM. Now, I didn't... Good practice. Let's just update Hermes here. Hermes update. And let me know that you guys can see everything just fine on screen. Yo, good morning, John. How we doing today? Yeah. Listen, it's taken a lot of trial and error for me to get mine to my point, but you know, I know for some this is great. I do not like the blockers. I have to like reiterate. Listen, if it's local first, if nothing is going to production, if nothing is replacing a live website, if you're not responding to somebody on my behalf, not posting on socials on my behalf, then there should be 0 blockers. It took a little bit of fine tuning to get my overnight automations working. But let me just tease something really quickly, a little bit of proof of work. We can always build this out in this bootcamp if you guys would like. I have what I'm calling Playground OS. It's just an overnight micro SaaS factory. Let me hard refresh it. And every night it builds me a micro SaaS, right? And gives me the TLDR, what the pain point is, who it's for, core features, pricing suggestion, right? Tags for SEO purposes. This is like the raw output. This is where it finds its sources. Generally, it's mostly Reddit, sometimes X and LinkedIn. And then it gives me a working prototype to where I can actually go to the landing page. Looks like it hasn't had its cup of coffee. There it is. It builds me the landing page. Very basic, but I have it based off of ShadeCN, the ShadeCN library, and then ui.watermelon.sh. Their suite of components, blocks, animated components, etc. I really love everything they use there. So that is like the single source of truth for front-end design, and then it makes the decision as far as color palettes and typography on its own. Now, this is, I'm never gonna, I don't plan on releasing this. This is for me, right? And then it has the prototype of the thing that it's building. So not only does it build the landing page, but it builds me just a decent first draft of a working prototype or an MVP. It's pretty nifty, pretty sweet. Maybe we'll build something like that. You guys let me know in chat if you want to see something like this built over the weekend. All right, let's just cross-reference here. How many likes we got? How many viewers we got? We're at 17 and 19. Just two more. Just two more. Two more. And we're going to get started with the foundational setup of our Hermes Agent system for the bootcamp today. Let me catch up on comments here. And keep in mind, this isn't going to be a normal live stream, right? I'm not going to, once we get in the flow of things, I don't think I'll be looking at comments the same way I do on live streams. I want to really just focus on getting through A to Z on my list, and then we'll open it up for Q&A at the end. Oh, really? I saw the comment for a brief second and then it just disappeared. It said retracted. So unless you, I don't think you said anything that YouTube would have deleted it on your behalf. That's interesting. Yo, what's up, Cuban? How we doing today? Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, this is scaled up, right? I think this has a low resolution on this VM, so you should be able to see everything just fine. Hey, if you haven't used your reset, just a quick hack, just power through it today. Our first of 4 resets that we've been given, assuming you've been subscribed to OpenAI, expires tomorrow. So I'm going to power through a lot of work today to use a reset before it expires tomorrow. Hey, yeah, I know the timing. Listen, before we start the bootcamp, we're going to squirrel a little bit. I got carried away yesterday with 5.6 Sol. I ended up recording all day, 7 total videos. I'll maybe use 3 of them, maybe 4. But that's what led towards me editing late into the night. I started exporting the video right before I went to bed, and I'm like, shoot, we're not posting on Thursday this week. That's a bummer. But yeah, we post today and tomorrow for our long form videos. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to follow it up. I did a Grok versus Opus with a token meter showing obviously the difference in output as well as the cost as well as the time. I'm blown away by Grok. I'm blown away by it. It's been an amazing week, and I hope everybody's been having as much fun as I have. Yo, what's up, Raven? Welcome. I gotta say, I think this is the first time I've seen your name here, so welcome. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, so I use the last 30-day skills as a part of that research in the automation overnight, but maybe we'll have to add that. Hey, right on. Hey, I hope that changes soon. You know, I feel that if you were unemployed not doing anything, that's one thing, but here you are learning, trying to better yourself. So I think you're on the right track. So thanks for being here. I'm glad these videos have been a huge help. And I hope you get some ideas, you know, from these videos on, you know, maybe making your own little side hustle. So thanks for being here, and really appreciate the support. It's cool. It's mainly the same. I don't know how I feel about it yet, to be honest. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Maybe we'll live stream again later today, because I do want to live stream just a GPT Sol, right? So we'll get on with the bootcamp here in a moment. Let me just catch up on comments, and then we'll start with this foundation here. I didn't, but that's going to be a good test. That's going to be a good test. Yeah, I was underwhelmed by that. All right. Regardless of likes, we're getting started here with the Hermes Agent Bootcamp. Hey, we're at 18 likes and 22 watching. I love it. Appreciate the support. So, first things first, let's get to our setup. Right? We've already done this. Now let's enable dashboard access here. So let's spin up Hermes. Let's make sure we're operating off of 5.6 Sol. And /model, OpenAI Codex. Look at that. All right. Now you can do this manually through the CLI. I personally like to just chat with the agent. Listen, if you're not paying retail API tokens and you're powering your Hermes agent system through a subscription, this is no problem, right? But if you are paying retail API inference, maybe you should do this through the CLI, right, to save just a little bit of money. But then again, at the beginning of this live stream, we've been jamming on it. GPT 5.6 is insanely cheap when you put it up side by side with Fable 5. It's insane. So just prompt away. When in doubt, ask your agent. That's one rule of thumb I follow here. When in doubt, ask your agent. Your agent knows. Let's set up the Hermes Agent dashboard. Default port 9119. It should always be on, even with system restart. Let's make this just a little bit larger here. There we go. All right, we can actually make it a little bit larger. Just cut it up to where my video is. There we go. And in the meantime, I am going to save us some time here. I'm going to start opening up some pages. So first, I'm going to go to github.com/clearmud because we want to install our floating chat bubble. It's open source, completely free to use. It's a part of our setup here. Ooh, I'm in a VM, so Command C is not going to work there. Allow for the session. Hey, welcome, Johnny. Yeah, we're getting started with the bootcamp here, so it's not that I'm ignoring the comments, but anything related to the bootcamp, we'll dedicate a Q&A at the very, very end, but welcome. Oh, we can also, why is that still attached? I'm gonna disconnect that CD there. Okay, we'll do that later. In the meantime as well, what you would want to do now, most of you might be setting this up on your host PC, on your main PC, so you don't have to follow some of the same steps that I'm doing. But since we're going to be setting up Discord and Telegram delivery channels here, I'm going to go ahead and Discord developer, where is it? This one here. And then we're going to do web.telegram.org. Because I'm doing this in a sandboxed VM, I have to log in this way. I have to log in within the browser. It just makes my life easier. So I'm going to pull this off screen because obviously I don't want to show off my cell phone here. But at this stage, we're just prepping for that part where we create those bot token IDs. So let me pull this off screen and just log into my accounts, because Discord is also still operating off of my personal email. So I don't want to expose either one of those. So give me one moment here. Log in. Good, confirm. All right, and let me scan this QR with, I realize I don't have to expose my cell phone here. I can just scan QR with Telegram. Bam. An error occurred. Okay, we'll just do this manually. Log on the phone number. All right, we're gonna open up this demo directory here. Okay, now I'll pull it back on screen. As you can see here, all I did was I logged into Telegram and I logged into Discord here as well. So kind of just prepped this part of the demo. We'll come back to that later. So let's go see what it said here. Hermes Agent dashboard is set up and running continuously. Configuration. So one other trick I'm going to do for anybody setting it up like me in this demonstration is, this is in a sandboxed VM, right? We're not always going to be in here. I'd like access on my host PC, on my daily driver. So we're going to enable LAN bind to access the Hermes Agent dashboard next. Let's just make sure everything's set properly. Okay, yep. Let's enable LAN bind so I can access from any computer in my local network, please. I don't know about you guys and girls. I still say please and thank you. I may not say it as frequently as I should. Sometimes I get carried away and I don't say please or thank you. And I don't know. It might just be me, but sometimes I feel a difference in the output. Yeah, so we're still on this step here. We'll set up the backup as soon as possible, because I don't always want to, you know, operate out of this window here. This is just for basic config, and then we'll pop over to my host PC and set things up there in a moment. Yeah, one thing I'm thinking out loud, right? For everybody tuning in live, if there's something you would like to see this weekend, something you'd like to see me cover within the Hermes Agent system or this bootcamp in general, please don't comment now. Save that thought for the end of the stream during the Q&A bracket, and we'll add that to our list. Listen, we're doing this for you, right? So anything I can do to improve, anything I can add to the bootcamp that you want to see, these live streams are the best place to catch me to add it before the next episode. You see my point? So I have way too many passwords in my head. That's right. I kept it simple for this one. So this is the password for this VM that I set up, right? I'll sometimes pin a comment. Also, all good. Hey, you're never late. You're on time. Welcome, Calvin. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for being here. No, you did not. Why is that cut off there? That's weird. All right, allow once, I suppose. Usually it has, 1 through 4. Allow for this session. Allow for the session. Now, one note I should bring up here is I'm setting this up assuming you're setting yours up in a private local area network, right? If you're setting it up on a VPS, you may not want to follow this particular step. The setup would be a bit different. I think this bootcamp would more so be valuable to you after this initial foundational setup, right? I think you can still get value from parts of this episode 1, but keep in mind, we're setting this up in a secure local environment. This is a sandbox virtual machine within my local area network that's nice and secure, right? So I'm setting things up in a certain way that I like, right? So hopefully everyone is setting things up locally, but I understand not everybody has either the space, the hardware, the stability in one network, right? And not moving around all the time. So I just wanted to put that out there. You don't follow this step for step in every single environment. Understand your environment first, right? All right. So it is enabled. Let's go ahead. What's our IP here? Oh, did I forget to? We're going to have to shut this VM down really quickly. Sorry about that. So when you're creating sandboxed VMs, if you don't select bridged, just select bridged. Where's network? Why is this not letting me? Guess I could just add a separate device, but there's usually, why did this change? Interesting. Oh, it's in here. It's in this drop down. So we want to select bridged here. I've been working out of the VMware Workstation Pro on Linux and Windows. It looks a little different than VMware Fusion. So I was accustomed to going into settings and seeing what I need to see. All right, so now we should be able to spin that back up. And let's just go ahead and try to spin up the... Let's make sure, yep. I'm glad I pulled that off screen. There we go. Oh, let's also, I want to make sure I don't, yeah, I was about to expose some old token ID here. Let me just... I want to clear chat. There we go. All right. Let's give this a try, shall we? So we're going to do loopback for now. 9119. One thing we didn't do here is we didn't set up a password, did we? So let's spin up Hermes in the terminal. And let's ask to access Hermes Agent dashboard. Did we set up a password? All right, I'm gonna expose it because, well, this is a demo and this is all local, so we're fine. Come on, remove that tedious work. Just show it to me. There we go. Let's actually change that. Now, never, ever set your passwords like this. Okay. I'm doing this for the demo, for the boot camp. All right. It's interesting that it's still... I just have too many passwords in my head and I'm not about to think of a new clever password for a demo Bootcamp VM login. Like, I want to keep things as simply configured as simply as possible here. I'm shocked it didn't warn me, like, this is stupid. Don't do this. Please. Never do that. And if your passwords are like that, hey, it's okay. We have to learn somehow. Change it now. And there we go. So let's really quickly... Oh, yeah, this is a fresh VM, eh? Simple password. Now, network adapter is set to bridged. Kind of want to disconnect it real quick. Reconnect it. There we go. 116. So now we'll be able to access that, assuming it set everything up correctly. There we go. So admin password. Nope. All right. Perfect. So now we have our Hermes Agent dashboard enabled. We have our TY chat in here. Now, since we're on this step, I want to go ahead and install our floating chat bubble. We're going to finish out of the TY and then we'll continue on my host PC in a second. Let's also install this plugin system wide. Oh, and for the just a little teaser for when we configure the soul for our default, we're going to be using something built by someone in the community. Figured, why not? Why not? I think it'll be fun. You'll just have to stay tuned to see what I'm talking about. Now, and I also know that this is a demo account, but when I do set up the Discord and Telegram bots, I am going to have to blur my screen. I'm going to give you enough instructions so you know how to do it yourself, but I just don't want somebody sniping access to my bots and causing mayhem. Now, obviously, I would delete it as soon as possible, but this bootcamp's going on for a couple of days, so I just don't want that to happen. I don't think anybody in here would do that, but it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Perfect. So let's go to our host PC. I don't see it enabled. Interesting. Oh, give me 1 second. I have an important package here. We're gonna have to pause this for a second. So, forgive me about that. Let's see. Let's make sure nothing got interrupted too much. That right there is 128 gigs of DDR5 ECC UDIM RAM. As you know, that's very expensive, so I had to sign for it, and I didn't want that package going back to FedEx and having to go chase it down, right? So, and he also rang the doorbell of all the tenants here. It was hilarious. I went down to open the door. The other tenants opened their... All right. We squirrel around here, if you know. We squirrel. All right. Let's see. Our test showed that... it's running... Interesting. Still don't see it on dashboard, but before I send that, let's make sure. I mean, it shouldn't matter whether it's local or LAN, right? It's the dashboard itself. It's not there. Yeah. Yeah. Buying RAM in this economy, it's rough. It's rough out there right now. Very rough out there. That package costs more than this mini PC right there. That's what's wild to me. That is what's wild. And so far, by the way, this is not a paid advertisement, but that Frameworks little desktop mini PC, it's not so small to where it's restricted. It can draw as much power as it needs to. The only thing I hate about those little mini PCs is they're limited to how much power they can draw, right? The form factor is very, very condensed, very small, very optimized. So it only allows the processor to pull a certain amount, right? With this bigger one, you have more airflow, there's less restrictions. Now, I'm not running any local models on it. I did test a few local models, and they're just not there yet. Plus, I think if anything, I'm going to buy slowly but surely accumulate maybe 4 of those, and then create a cluster. At that point, that will be a nice home lab. I think that's an alternative to buying that super micro build that I want to buy out. That is currently spec'd at like $60,000. It's insane. It's insane. I'm reading your comments, Mr. Baker. You got to understand, this bootcamp is for beginners, right? Yes, I should probably be teaching them to go to the plugins tab, but nevertheless, let's token max. Let's token max our subscriptions. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. That was funny. What is going on? Do you guys hear that? Is sound coming through? That's, I'm just, I heard this like, blah, 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 blah. It was routing through my MacBook speakers, and I heard it outside of the, that was weird. Oh, here, hold on. Let me screenshot this. We'll deploy a new fix a little bit later. That's something new. Okay. Hard refresh. Voila, there we go. There's our open source floating chat bubble that stays persistent across your entire dashboard. Completely free to use and fork, etc. Have fun with it. But once we start working more out of this for the rest of the bootcamp, tomorrow we'll also be releasing and deploying another plugin I've created here called Agent Atlas. So stay tuned for tomorrow's episode for that. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's finish the initial setup on this end here. All right. Desktop app, I think we're going to save for another episode. Do you guys want to see that right now? I feel like that's something after we set everything up. Then we can configure remote access via desktop app. I personally don't use it, so it's not quite there yet. Now, if you're watching this recording of this bootcamp weeks after the fact, chances are I might be using the desktop app more frequently. But, you know, they're improving this on a weekly and monthly basis. I don't know about daily. So it's my belief in about a month's time, I'll probably be using Hermes Agent desktop a lot more frequently. But right now, I don't even open it. So I open it to test. All right. We'll actually do that. Let's skip down to our delivery, or let's do holographic first. Let's enable holographic, please. I'm trying to be disciplined with not responding to every messages, but chat, y'all got me laughing right now. So let's see, and then I'll show you a little bit about shell styling. We'll dig into the plugins tab. And then we'll set the Soul and Agents MD specifically on the host PC. Let's just finish this since I took the time to open these tabs up inside of the VM. And listen, I've been using holographic across 2 different systems. It's been solid. I love it. I have no need to deploy another server with Honcho or Hindsight. At least not yet, right? I'm loving it. Again, this is probably something we can do through the plugins tab, but listen, we're taking a beginner approach, and I highly recommend the sooner you start prompting your agent, the better, the more you learn. Now, if you are paying, I'm going to reiterate, if you're paying retail API costs, maybe you don't want to take this route because you will burn through tokens. But if you're paying a subscription, listen, like utilize the power of these subscriptions. Just chat with your agent. You know what I mean? Just chat with your agent. So, holographic memory enabled system-wide for the default Hermes profile. One thing I want to ask, I already know the answer, but let's get some clarification for the video. Active provider. Will I need to enable holographic for every agent profile we deploy? Or will this be standard for all agents moving forward? Oh no, I've killed my French press. I didn't time that properly, eh? Okay. Holographic currently only enabled for the default profile. Hermes profiles have isolated config files and memory databases, so a newly created blank profile will not inherit it automatically. To make holographic standard for future agents, create profiles by cloning the default profile. That's not always the best route because then you risk hallucination, right? You risk the new agent thinking it's the original agent that you've spent so much time on. So keep this in mind moving forward, right? We'll obviously reiterate on this tomorrow during the agent team build, but I wanted to bring this up, right? And I wanted to prompt it in a Q&A format because I personally learn more this way, and I think everyone in general will learn more this way if you just ask a question if you don't know the answer to it, and your agent knows. Your agent will answer that for you. Now, if I create agents with you, couldn't you set up all this by default? I don't want to clone, as I don't want to risk hallucination or new agents thinking they are you. And see, if we didn't ask this, he wouldn't have done this, right? I personally, one thing I'm going to teach you how to set up your Hermes agent team tomorrow is my default profile is generally my system admin. It's not my executive assistant. I have one profile below that on my main system that coordinates everything. And I only talk with my default agent profile when it's foundational work or system-wide teamwork. I found this to be the best way to structure it. Now, you don't have to follow it. Most everybody's just going to use one agent. You may not need a multi-agent team. So you don't have to follow it this way. This is just how I prefer to set it up. And it's just a good practice, a good rule of thumb to have one agent that is your system admin, right? Whether you keep that as your default or configure a completely separate one to handle those responsibilities, that's entirely up to you. This is just my preference. Great. Awesome. Let's set up Discord and Telegram. We could do this manually, but as you've learned, we're doing this for beginners. So let's just roll with it. Make sure when we paste API tokens, they are hidden as we are live streaming. a demo right now. You know what? It's about time I grab some ice cubes for this coffee. So while this is thinking, give me about a minute. BRB. Okay, it just wants me to run through the gateway setup. Gotcha. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just open up Hermes gateway setup. Now let's go. We'll do Telegram or Discord first. So Discord bot token. Let's go in here. Let's create. Let's go applications. New application. We'll call this Bootcamp demo. Let's give them a name. We didn't think about this yet. What do we want to name our system admin on this chat? I didn't really think ahead with this one. As I mentioned, we're going to be using a tool from somebody, built from somebody here in the community, to essentially be our soul, right? So let's get some inspiration. No, we've already done that. Ooh, a Jocko Willick? Let's go to library. What about movies? Ooh, ooh, Yoda. I like Yoda. Yeah, let's go with Yoda. All right, I like it. Yoda it is. Create. I am human. Am I really gonna have to authenticate this one? Pretty sure it's only when I reset the token. All right, so let's go to bot, and then we scroll down. We want to make sure message content intent. I personally do this one as well. You don't have to. And then bot permissions. Wait, is it this one? Let's save changes really quickly. We do that in the OAuth. We shouldn't need to touch that here. So what we want to do is... Oh my goodness. All right. Now this is where I may have to... I think I'm just going to take this off screen because I just don't want to expose it. So forgive me. I'll make sure, you know, it's only this step I take off screen. I'll let you know exactly what I do. Okay, I'm going to copy that token there. And then I'm going to go to the OAuth tab next, right? And let's go back in here. And we're going to paste in. Voila. So underneath that button that you saw before I clicked and moved this off screen, it'll show your token after you hit reset token. All right. We're just going to leave empty. We'll set home later. And then let's do Telegram next. Is it at the... Where is it? There it is. Bam. Let's do it manually. I didn't know that. Looks like this scan QR code confirming Telegram done. Wow. Really? I'm going to continue doing it manually, but it looks like they have an easier way of doing it now, which is awesome. Telegram bot token. So now I'm going to go in here and we're going to type in /new bot. Now to find the bot father, you just search bot father and it's the one with like millions of people talking with it. So we're going to call this one Yoda and we're going to call this one Yoda bot Clearmud. Clearmud Bootcamp bot. That shouldn't be taken. It's got to end in bot. And of course I exposed the darn key. So I hope nobody tries to do anything with that, but it is what it is. Let's actually delete it. We're going to delete it. I'm going to start that from scratch now that you know how to do that. And I'm going to do that off screen. Because we're going to be using this for a few days. So, but I at least showed you the process. All right, I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to bring that back on. And we're just going to paste that in there. I see the LOLs in chat. Yeah, it's I forgot. I thought I had one more step before that happened. It had been a while since I set that up. That was hilarious. Gonna just leave empty. I'm dead. I'm dead. That's hilarious. All right, let me really quickly pull that off screen. And should be able to start that chat with Yoda. We're gonna start. Yeah, you can always set the list, right? Yeah. I got to address comments really quickly because that was a funny fail. Really? They reset yesterday too. So they're just giving us free resets. Freaking awesome. All right, listen. I think we may have to live stream later. Just a GPT 5.6 soul sesh, you know? Let's see, did it restart yet? Oh, I never hit enter, did I? Oh, my number pad isn't function lock. So there it is. Now it's working in the VM. It was working on my host, just not in the VM. All right. Just spin up Hermes real quick. Wonderful. So we have that's fine for me to expose that. It's all good. It's just didn't want to give you the other one, but I am pulling it off screen. Selecting text. And let's actually get out of that. Paste that. Bam. There we go. So now I can open Telegram on my main machine. Let's go to all chats. Let's go to Yoda. Let's add him into the demo directory. Add to folder demo. Demo. We'll set this one as home. Why not? I love it. All right. I'm Hermes, your AI assistant from News Research. Nice. Okay, so no memory whatsoever. Just wanted to, just my little checker. All right, let's just make sure we're all done on the VM. So we have this set. We have this set. We'll talk about this in a second. We'll finish these two. And we'll kind of just work our way through the dashboard. So we're good on the VM itself because we can do everything else in the dashboard. So I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to open up the dashboard here. Let's hard refresh it. Let's go to chat. Now, this is how I'm personally setting up mine. My default profile is going to be my system admin. So I'm just going to vibe in a prompt here. Hey, your name is Yoda. You're going to be our system admin, all knowing. I'm going to paste in a sole MD that I'd like you to bake into your memory. Let me know if you have any questions. Keep in mind, I'm only going to come to you when I want to make system-wide changes across every single agent profile we create down the road, system-wide plugins, et cetera, et cetera. You're more foundational. But I will come to you as well to get some wisdom from your 900-year-old life of experience. Probably could have said that a little bit better, but you know, interesting. Paste last transcript. What? Let's open Whisperflow. Why is that not interesting? If the hard refresh that, why is it not letting me paste in chat? Interesting. Yo. That's weird. I don't have this happen with my main chat or my main dashboard. Yo, Mr. Baker, have you ran into this? That's a first for me. Why can't I? Yo. Doesn't even work in the floating chat bubble. Weird. Well, let's see if we can paste in the floating chat bubble. No. What happened to that? Let me pull this off screen really quickly and load up mine. Yeah. Like I just copy pasted yo into my dashboard. It works just fine. Huh. Weird bug? Possibly. All right, let's close that, close that, close that. Let's open up Whisperflow. I mean, right click pasting worked? That's weird. Yeah, it's a weird little bug. Let's see. Gimme. We're just gonna copy this. This should copy everything, right? Yep. Let's see. Let me try Command V again. Command V does not work, but I can right click and paste in. That is the weirdest thing. What is happening? It works in my dashboard, but not this new one. Huh. Weird. So if you run into that issue, just know you're not alone. And yes, I know we can set these things up manually, but we use subscriptions here. We do not pay retail API costs. So take advantage of your subscription, right? This is my favorite way of setting things up, you know? Yoda, I am. Let's go. Your foundational system admin I shall be. Baked into durable memory are. Oh, man. Why did I have to love that first response so much? I might have to keep this system. My identity, temperament, boundaries are core truths. My role as steward of system-wide Hermes infrastructure. Your intent that changes brought to me should apply across all current and future agent profiles. The need to preserve profile isolation while distinguishing truly global plugins and infrastructure, clean baseline provisioning, profile local identity, memory, sessions, and personality. My duty to offer long view wisdom, not merely execute the quickest command. One question remains. Would you like this complete soul claw installed as this? Yes. Or should it remain as durable identity? Full soul MD it be. Wait, how would he say this? How would Yoda respond here? I'm just gonna say it be. Yo, quick note on this. So I did set up, we didn't set it up in this bootcamp, right? Because it was all about coming prepared with just a base installation. But I did set it up on a live stream. I want to say it was Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So Monday, I do show the process of me setting up this VM from scratch. It's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. I got to say hi to the cuzzo. Hey, we're doing a boot camp, so I'm not responding to every comment in the middle of it. We're going through the process, but thanks for being here. We'll have a Q&A at the end. What's up? Hopefully I didn't blow anyone's eardrums out there. Yeah, and this is a great note. So that's why tomorrow we are going to be setting up some agent profiles manually. We're going to do a mix of both, right? Today, we're taking a very simple beginner-friendly approach to getting everything up and running, to getting that foundation set. But throughout the bootcamp, we are going to do things manually so that you're aware of how to do them. This is a very good point. Thanks for bringing this up, Mr. Baker. I couldn't agree more here with you. Listen, I have spent countless hours troubleshooting both OpenClaw and Hermes due to lack of understanding or lack of experience doing things manually. And I had to go through that process to learn, right? But I think for initially getting things up and running off the ground, the least amount of friction, the best, right? Like you're going to have a better experience the less friction you have starting. So start with as little friction as possible and then start to layer in the manual approach so that you understand the system, you understand how to maintain it. More intuitively. Sorry, this when it breaks, set up OC and have it fix. Listen, early on when here I am squirreling. Early on when my OC was breaking, I had a backup OC that I would use to troubleshoot my main OC. Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, takes 20. It takes a bit of time. Even on an SSD, it takes some time. It's not instant. All right. So I want to do a hard refresh. Fresh session. What? Could have sworn a hard refresh will load up a new session. I guess not. Interesting. When did that change, Mr. Baker? Huh. I'll be darned. Yeah, let's kind of dig in through the plugins tab, but first let's go into config. Is it config? I think it's config. Then let's go to display, and then let's go down to, where's that section? Is it not in here? Is it in system? No, it's not in system. It's got to be in config. So I'm just going to search TY or shell. What was it called? Style? No? What was that called, Mr. Baker? I could have sworn it was through display. And then in display, you can select what theme you want in your TY chat. Did they pull that? Or did they move it? I think they moved it. Where would they have moved it? Skin. It's called skin. That's right. It is in display. I must have been blind. So what's really cool is you can change your skin here, save, go back to chat, hard refresh. It's interesting how it keeps doing that, huh? Let's try restarting the gateway through the dashboard. Maybe it just needs that. Yeah, I just forgot the word. Thank you. Thank you. Watch, it was probably in our steps here. Nope. I wrote shell styling. That's what confused me. It's interesting how this is being persistent. It never used to do this. Right? A hard refresh would always force it. Let's pop open that VM because that's odd. Let's spin up a new Hermes chat here. As you can see, we have this kind of blue slate. I think it was called slate effect. What's interesting though is, let's go full screen, type in Hermes. Oh, this doesn't turn blue anymore. That's sad. It used to. Huh. Let's close all these other sessions we have open. I'm just going to restart it through the CLI here. Okay. Hard to refresh it here. I guess we have to manually click this button now. I guess I'm not mad at it. That's kind of cool. Okay, here's what happens when you change the skin, right? And one thing I wanted to point out is our open source plugin also changes its styling as well. So the borders will change depending on the skin that you choose for your TY chat. So a little way to customize. And then obviously down here, bottom left. Let me move this over a little bit so the screen can see it. Oh, there's actually a better way for me to do that. There we go. Right there. You can also change for default. Like, look at this one. This one's actually kind of cool. I know I just blinded a lot of people in chat and watching this recording. I'm a light mode person, so I love that. Midnight, got a nice midnight hue to it, right? So they have all these pre-built themes that you can use per your personality and styling. Mono's actually great. Rosé, we got the little pinkish rosé there. And then you can select your font, right? So if you wanted to start changing things, I love all these options that they give now. They didn't have this early on. Ooh, I like that IBM Plex. Space is cool too, but IBM Plex might be my winner. Let's jump between Plex sounds. Let's get off of Rosé. Let's go to Mono. I think that's a great theme to use for the rest of this bootcamp. And then I'm noticing it doesn't change everything. Let's use IBM Plex for now. And we're just going to hard refresh that browser there. All right, great. So what's next on our list? I should have created checkboxes, so forgive me. We'll come more prepared with tomorrow. I mean, technically speaking, it looks like we went all the way through our list, didn't we? So now let's set up backups. Now you can always copy paste this and give it to your agent if you'd like. Just make sure you fill in the backup notes. But let's do this manually. So let's go into your Hermes Agent dashboard and let's go to System. We're going to discover this together. I thought it was in System. There it is. So there's a feature somewhere in here to... You can create them manually, or you can have it back up with every system update. I could have sworn that was right next to these options here. They've been improving this dashboard. It's nice to see. I want to say... Let's go check config, backup. Right here. So under general, if you just search backup and config, let's make this, I'm realizing that text on screen is very small, so let me make that larger for everyone. You can scroll down, you'll find this in the general tab as well, but pre-update backup. So every time you update Hermes Agent, it will back it up. Please enable this. You'll thank me later. Flash bang. Flash bang. I know I'm a little outdated with catching those comments, but yeah, and I love this. Only keep, I personally only keep it at 3. You're welcome to keep it at whatever you'd like. I'm just going to set it for 3. All right. And if you wanted to, right, like peace of mind, you can always just create a backup. Now that we have the foundation working, we have our default agent profile set. Let's say you don't have it running on a VM. If you do, now's the time to take a snapshot. Take a snapshot of your VM, name it later, right? So I'm going to, looks like I can't rename it yet. That's weird. I'll rename that later. But once you get everything up and running, everything installed, everything working with just your default profile, back it up. Create a snapshot of your VM. That way, if for some reason you break something or you do something unwanted between now and tomorrow or now and the next steps, you can revert back. It's important to always create these snapshots, these moments in time when you're about to do a lot of work or make a lot of changes. That way, if you're unhappy with the changes, you don't have to manually undo them. You just snapshot back to that snapshot. Just be mindful of that as you're progressing through the build, and as you're progressing through maintaining and building out your own Hermes Agent system. It's a huge time saver to create a backup or a snapshot before you're about to make significant changes. One thing I personally love to do once a week. I'll be honest, I don't do it every week, at least not anymore, but early on, once a week, it's generally Saturdays, I would have an infrastructure day. An infra Saturday is what I'd call it. And nowadays it changes. Sometimes it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But nevertheless, it's a day to focus on infrastructure. It's a day to focus on anything that's not automated day to day, anything that I don't need to access Monday through Friday, right? It's foundational work, improving the system, taking notes of things throughout the week that you discover that you want to change from a foundational perspective, and then doing that one day a week, right? Rather than, listen, it's easy to get carried away. I did this early on quite a bit, to where I would discover something broken. I knew what I wanted to do to fix it. I knew how I would want things to operate, but I would just do it in that moment. It would be a Tuesday at 9 a.m. Tuesday at 9 a.m. I'm busy. I have client work, right? So more than half of my day would then turn into this rabbit hole of fixing things and improving things that take away from my day-to-day, take away from my priority, take away from me earning money to pay my bills, right? So it's very important to just have that mindset of, if you discover something and you classify it as infrastructure related, save that for one day a week. That way you're operational, 5 to 6 days out of the week, rather than going through those rabbit holes midway through the week. And then you're kind of tired and frustrated. Maybe that's not the right word, but you get to a point where you're just like, meh, all right, I want to work on something else, because that just took so much energy from me. I was not expecting to spend 2, 3, 4 hours on this day on that particular task. That's why you save it for one day a week to do infrastructure related work. Highly recommend that. Listen, that's what I do. You don't have to follow. That's just what I do. Okay. All right, let's see. Wow, we powered through that. So let's go to the default operating profile. This is a template I created. Listen, we're going to vibe our way through this. Let's read it. Operator. Yeah, we've already actually defined this, but this I'm going to redefine for tomorrow, because our operator is technically Yoda. He's technically our system admin. So I do have to have my agents analyze this live stream transcript and readjust episode 1's kit, which I personally love having them do for me, so I don't have to do it manually. So stay tuned. Towards the end of this bootcamp, this landing page and the resources in these kits will be updated about 24 to 48 hours after a live stream, because that's how long roughly it takes for YouTube to upload the transcript and make it accessible for scraping, right? I use YT-DLP to scrape YouTube transcripts via agents. Memory rules. Ooh, I honestly like this. I'm just going to copy paste this. This was a good addition by Neo, my executive assistant. And then let's go check shell. Yeah, we already did this. We kind of powered through some of these. That's a good test. Let's go ahead and test one thing we didn't finish doing. So let's go to OAuth. So to add your bot to a Discord server, let me go prep. I'm going to add them into my private one for all of my other agents. Let's just create a channel. We'll call this one Yoda. Let's hide all those. Okay. So I have this Yoda chat and I want to invite to server. No, forgive me. I do not want to invite to server. I want to go down here to the OAuth URL generator. We're going to select this one as a bot. And we're going to select this one as applications commands. And then we're going to go down to bot permissions. We want it to send messages in threads, read message history. I would like it to embed links, add reactions, use slash commands. What else? There's a few more I'm missing, I think. Unless you want it to be an administrator, you don't have to check these, right? Where was... I know I'm missing one. View channels. I think that's it. I think that's it. I have a feeling I might be missing one. So when in doubt, what do we do here? We ask our agent, right? Please confirm what bot permissions do I need to enable to add Discord bot to my server. I forgot. I'm pretty sure I tackled it all. But as I mentioned, when in doubt, just ask your agent. Pretty sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There might be a 7th. I'm shocked I haven't had to set this up in a while, but I've set up quite a few. That's why I was able to remember most of the process. Oh, excuse me. I should have muted that. And Mr. Baker's pulling his hair right now. Why don't you just go to the docs? Listen, when in doubt, burn some tokens, ask your agent. Yeah, so I got those two right, of course. View channels, send messages in threads. 1, 2, 3. Wait, what's the 7th? Read message history. Oh, was it attached files? Was it really that simple? Okay, that was my bet. I should have known that. And then we just scroll down here and we want to just keep everything default. You want to copy this URL here. And since we're already logged in, we paste and go. And this is where, you know, you log in if you're not already logged in. And I'm going to add it to our Clearmud ops server. Leave everything enabled, and we're just going to authorize. And now when I go over to Discord, we're going to see Yoda should be in here. There he is. Let me edit channel permissions. I like doing this when I create channels per agent. We're just going to add Yoda. Done. Save changes. That way, only Yoda's the one who can see this one, right? Now, he's still offline, I think, right? Why is he grayed out on my screen? Interesting. No, he's online. But he isn't responding yet. So let's figure out what's going on there. Okay. I know we set up everything properly. So when in doubt, what do we do? What do we do, chat? We burn some tokens. We ask our agent. That's what we do. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. Deployed your Discord bot, but no response in Discord. I'm dead. It's hilarious. Forgive me. Quick bio break. BRB. All right, we are back. That's right. This is one critical step that I honestly, by memory, I forgot. So I'll show you here in a moment. So copy user ID. So in our Discord, we should be able to go over to your right-hand side and copy user ID down here. You know, I did not. I'm really against, I am trying to avoid monthly subscriptions and monthly payments as much as possible. But here I am, I keep adding more to it, but it's all AI related. I refuse, because I'm already paying for Discord, right? Yeah, to send like bigger bulk of messages to my agents there. I'll sometimes run into that issue on Telegram where a prompt or a message is too long. One workaround that I've found, which is really awesome, is just recording a voice memo, because a voice memo bypasses that, right? And I haven't seen any restriction on voice memos. Now, sometimes when I'm doing voice to text on my desktop or my daily driver here, it'll give me that character limit shit, and I just split it up into two messages. But the nice little workaround is voice memos from your mobile device. I suppose I can do that on desktop as well. It's a great little workaround. I haven't seen any limitations, and I know for a fact sometimes I'll send a 3, 4, 5 minute voice memo of a brain dump. You already know that exceeds the character count on the free Telegram. Really? No, for me, really? Yeah, so I was able to create these folders, no problem here. Now, I think this Telegram account was paid at some point, like in the past. I don't know if it's a bug to where I'm still allowed to create folders, but yeah, no, it's the free Telegram account. All right, let's finish up. I think we just have one more thing to do today, to be honest, and it's just to set up some surface level crons. I have a few in mind that I want to create, and then we'll open up the floor for Q&A. I think it was a solid foundational day, and we did it in, honestly, record time. I thought that was going to take us 2.5 hours to do, and we did it in, what is that, 1 hour and 40 minutes? It's kind of impressive. All right, there we go. Root cause, Hermes was denying every Discord message because no allow list existed. So if you run into that same issue, what do we do here? When in doubt, ask your agent. Send the new Bob message in Discord. Ordinary text. Let's go ahead and do a quick test. Yo. Do I have to tag him every time? Yo, Yoda. Interesting. Do I also have to give it the channel ID? All right, still no. Is my keyboard tweaking on me here? What is going on? That's weird. What is the... I have nothing open here. There should be no lag whatsoever on this. Yeah, plenty of like what? Weird little lag in the dashboard after that. Hey, welcome. Yeah, we're in the midst of a boot camp right now. Episode 1, we're just doing the foundation. We're actually nearing the end of it. We're going to be setting up a few automations here. We just noticed a weird little bug with our Discord bot. So we're going through that process now. But hey, thanks for being here. Mr. Baker. No, when in doubt, ask your agent and then look at the docs. Yep, you need to set require mention equals false. But it's still not responding at all. Like either way. Still no response in this channel. We set require mention false. He should just, or you, not he. You should just respond in your channel. I mean, no. Our agent, now, when your agent is not responding, when nobody's responding, yes, you have no choice but to look at the docs. But when you have a TUI chat working and your agent is responding somewhere, ask your agent. Are you kidding me? Come on now. We need the grappler versus the fundamentalist. Hey, this is honestly a little hack that not a lot of, like by default, Hermes Agent does that. But early on in the OpenClaw days, when we were doing that OpenClaw bootcamp, OpenClaw would sometimes want to guess. Your agent would sometimes want to guess rather than referencing the docs. And a little hack I found early on that very few people talked about is just reference docs.openclaw.ai to get the answer, to set up, or whatever it is, whatever pain point you're having with your system, please reference these docs to fix or find a solution, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great little hack. It's a great little hack. Judge based on setup speed. Hey, I think we set things up rather quickly today. We could have done it a lot quicker. We squirreled a little bit. But next up, we just want to set up these crons. I have a few ideas, and we'll fine tune them in the coming days as well. We're going to do a very surface level approach first. We just need to finish getting Discord working, and then we'll move on to that. And then after that, Q&A. Hey, Derek, I gotta say, I love the evolution of your site here. Thanks for the credits. I'm loving Yoda already. I might have to repurpose this bootcamp demo setup for something. I was originally going to trash it after the fact, but I think we're going to use it for something. I just don't know what. Maybe it will become a community Discord bot, which, by the way, if you're new here and you want to join our Discord, it's no longer private only. You can join it by going to clearmud.link. And it's this second option here. You can come jam with a small intimate crew of people. I think we have around 100 people that we've slowly been inviting through live streams over the past, 6 months. And now we have opened up the floodgates. So you're welcome to join. Come jam. Hey, Yoda Online. Nice. Let's see. All right. This is not everybody's humor, but very nice. Let's see. Does it catch it? Does it catch it? Say something. Say something. Come on. You should be able to detect the GIF. Flash warning. Let's see. What about tagging him? Wow. Huh. Message ID, allowed channels. Yeah, I mean, that's right. All the settings look right. Still no response. Yeah, still nothing. I mean, he has all the perms, right? All the IDs are correct, so the only thing I haven't done is reset the gateway manually. That's the alpha right there. That's the alpha right there. Yeah, so as we're nearing the end, I see a lot of people just spiked in here. Listen, thanks for tuning into this bootcamp. This is a free series. This is one of 4. We're going to be live streaming the next 4 days straight. Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll eventually do a recap episode 5. If you have any questions at all, anything you want to see me build and do within Hermes Agent, drop a comment below, especially in the Q&A. Today was all about foundation. Tomorrow's about building out a team, a multi-agent team. We're also going to talk about the differences between agents, default profiles, sub-agents, and background asynchronous tasks. We're going to set up our team tomorrow. And then Sunday is going to be all about workflows and automations, skills and crons, etc. And then Monday is going to be just about fine-tuning things. Today we are going to set up some base automations and briefs, and then we'll be fine-tuning those in the coming days. And then we'll also set up a wave of those with the multi-agent team. But if you want to see something specific, help me help you, right? I can't read your mind. So hopefully what I'm doing is enough. My whole goal with this bootcamp is to just, with each episode, give you the foundational knowledge you need to just set up your own, right? And then from there, you have these little tricks and tools and guided instruction and demonstration, right, on this demo to where you can replicate what we build and then some. Really? Let me pull that off screen really quickly. Okay. You might have been right. Can we get a wellness check on Mr. Baker before we end this live? Oh, let's go back here. Yep, good call, Sharma. I thought that was my error, so I pasted the wrong ID. Yep. Okay. Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Hey. Let's set home. Wait. So I like doing this, right? If one platform goes down and the other one doesn't, you have redundancy. It does kind of get annoying. So don't configure this if you don't want it, but you can just ask your agent to set home for 2 delivery channels, whether you're using WhatsApp, Slack, whatever, right? But I have outputs for crons and briefs go to both Telegram and Discord for that correlating bot. I like it for redundancy purposes, right? Because we're trusting on Discord and Telegram not going under. So it's best just to, why not set up two homes there? That's just my preference. Listen, that's not for everybody. I'm not telling you you need to do this, but it's something to think about for sure. Because there are outages. Discord especially, there are outages. It happens, so. Ooh, I love it. Let's, if I forget, I want to pin this and talk about this in the Q&A, because I'm going to have Muddy and Neo go through this transcript and make sure we update the rest of the curriculum. I love this. Yeah, this is great. This will be a great automation to put in place. Yeah, for anybody curious, Mr. Baker, I don't know why he calls himself Mr. Baker. He's Mr. Hermes. He surfaced when we were doing live streams on Hermes, and he's like, "Oh wow, love your channel, found you, awesome, great, happy to be here." But then anytime I talk about OpenClaw, pew 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 pew, shots would fire. But no, he's our resident. He doesn't like me calling him this, but he's our resident Hermes Agent expert. Yep, nothing but love and learning. Identity crisis still, that's why. No, I mean, I get it. Mr. Baker with the Cookie Monster avatar. It's a brilliant combination. Listen, I want a cookie right now and I haven't even eaten yet today. I gotta go eat lunch before I can go get dessert, you know? Oh, I have the domain for you. Hold on. Is that domain available? I'm going to go check it before I show it. Right here, Mr. Listen, someone might snipe this. I hope you guys don't do this to him. But right here, MrHermes.guru. Just go get it. Just, you deserve it. Just go get it. $2 for the first year. Well, knowing you, you'd probably steal it to gift it. I love it. Mr. Baker's sub agent to yell at me. Oh, that's funny. YouTube hid your comment because you wrote the word. I'm gonna show it because that's you weren't being malicious. Please don't penalize Derek. I'm curious. Hold on before I scroll too much. Let's see. Done. Great. Awesome. So I want to continue working out of the TY though. We'll start a new chat. Yo. Yeah, that's still not working. I might have to actually finish in Discord actually. That's really annoying. Let's practice our fingers here because I've been losing my my ability to type. Let's set up a morning brief it should be a system health checker for our Hermes agent system. What should we include on this morning brief? So we're gonna actually set up, I'm thinking, should I include my other idea into this one? Yeah. Let's also include a news / repo scraper for the Hermes agent repo on Git. I want to know when on a daily basis what new improvements have been made, etc. When a new version gets released, I want to add on a what, why section on why we would want to upgrade on any given day. Yeah, I think I'm going to include this into that brief rather than creating two separate ones, right? So Yoda's our system admin. So we're going to get a morning brief for our Hermes agent system, but we're also going to include this feature to always scan the Hermes agent repo on GitHub to see what new changes have been applied that we could benefit from, right? Essentially. I'm just going to interrupt him and add that onto the list. Yeah, and I think tomorrow after we build our multi-agent team, then we'll set a few more crons related to what you guys want to see. But I think this is going to be a critical one just for administrative purposes. Now, this is where, like, if you're trying to copy this for yourself and you're setting up your first Hermes agent system, maybe you don't need this, right? Maybe you do something related to what you're building it for, right? So in Corey's case, let me scroll up. Ooh, this is another skill that I highly recommend you incorporate. I don't think, let's go see if by default it's in here. I don't think it is. Last 30, yeah, it's not. So let's go to github.com. Is it Matt Van Horn? M Van Horn, last 30 days skill. So we're just going to copy that URL. And what are we going to do? Are we going to manually enter it, or are we going to feed it to our agent? We're going to feed it to our agent. Why is that unlegible on my screen? Interesting. Sounds good. Let's run a test now. Also, please install and enable the following. Yeah, this is a personal skill that I love for my research agents. And I've been following him since, I think it's got like close to 50,000 stars. I want to say I discovered it with like 1,000, if that. I forget what number it was at, but it was very small. And he's been growing. He now has, I don't know if he has a full-on team, but he has people in the community helping him. You know, he has a lot of contributors here, and it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Highly recommend it. Well, I know, so this is a very good point to bring up. You should always ask your agent to scan for malicious intent behind a skill. Now, I already know that this skill is safe, So I'm not going to ask it that. But if you're ever feeding a GitHub repo to your agents, make sure to put in the keywords. Please do not blindly install this. First, analyze it, make sure it's not malicious, and then, you know, report back if it is. If it's not, please install this, right? That is very key. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Baker. See, you guys are helping me make this bootcamp more effective and educational. I love it. One thing I wish I did for this one, I wish I created some type of token meter to track if we were to be paying API inference, right? API retail costs. What would this cost us? That would have been interesting. That would have been interesting. Too late for that. So. Oh yeah. 5.6 Sol, baby. What's the effort? I'm not sure. I can check. Let's see. Thinking. We can actually just go check. Shouldn't we be able to check in our profiles? It's interesting. I would have thought it would have told us what our thinking level's on here, but it's not. Interesting. Yes, and don't worry, we're gonna manually work through one, but we're also gonna have Yoda create most of them for us. But for the sake of Mr. Baker's sanity, we are gonna create some from scratch. I could have sworn there was somewhere to do this. You can enable the token analytics page in dashboard. Okay. Listen, I'm not mad at Medium. Listen, I think Medium was the sweet spot for GPT 5.5. So listen, I haven't noticed. There has been no red flags for me to want to change it. I've been happy with its level of thinking here. So. But Mr. Baker, let's add some little Easter eggs to the end of this foundational setup. What's other things that if somebody's watching this, they should enable? If you have any Mr. Baker, Mr. Hermes tips, that's the time to share. Memory, grades. Wait for this to finish running here. Cuban says pets. Mr. Baker is in sarcasm mode now. Isn't pets the desktop app thing? Or is it in the Hermes Agent dashboard as well? To everything now. Let's go check it out. Config pets. So, documentation. Are you happy, Mr. Baker? Are you happy? I don't like how we can't expand that or collapse that. Okay. Listen, I think what we'll do is we'll add this towards the fine tuning part. I don't want to make this a big part of our foundation. Great suggestion, Cuban, and we're going to incorporate this into the bootcamp. So Muddy and Neo, let's please update our curriculum. I think episode 4 is a good place for this. I think this falls under more fine tuning and tweaking and personalizing things at the end. I like it. Okay. I personally don't use it, so. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. All right, just write a few notes here. For some reason, I can't see your most recent chat. Hopefully it comes in. I can see you here. I can't see you on my pin feature, but that is great timing. Did that just start at noon? Yeah, it did, didn't it? Nice. I predict the winner will win. For some reason, it didn't show me your comment in my my OBS. It's really weird. Huh. Predict the winner will win. All right, listen. So I think today we've covered a lot. This is just installing that skill that if you want to check it out and install it, it's an awesome skill. Listen, if you have any security concerns, always run that security audit before you will install a skill to your internal system. I'm personally using it. I've already done this with my agent system, so I didn't ask this Bootcamp agent system to do it for me because I do trust it. So listen, I think we've covered everything. I'll improve all this because I know we kind of winged some of the setup. We kind of went with what I felt was more intuitive of a flow from start to finish. But yeah, I think we've set up a solid foundation here. Tomorrow's all about agents and team design and deploying that team, right? And then we'll set a few more crons related to the team that we deploy. And then episode 3, which is going to be Sunday, is all about crons. It's all about skills. It's all about just workflows and automations in general. And then episode 4, we're going to be fine tuning. And then I have a feeling Kanban is going to become a Sunday, Monday thing, because when we set up workflows and automations, we're going to discover that we're going to immediately start to hit blockers on Kanban. So I'll make sure to update this landing page accordingly after my agents, my executive assistants analyze today's transcript to update the next few episodes. All right. You just ask your agent to do it. You just say, hey, please, before you install this skill, please analyze it. Please run a security audit. Make sure, it's not malicious. Make sure it's not trying to exploit our system or our data. And it's usually all I say to my agent to run that security audit. It's just more of a vibe security audit than a skill. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a built-in Hermes skill that does that for you, but I just ask my agent to do it when I'm pasting in a public repository I've never tested across any other system. So yeah, let's open up the floor for Q&A. Listen, I think we made a lot of progress in a short amount of time today. I think it's a great stopping point for today. And let's open up the floor for Q&A here. Any questions on today? Any questions on what you would like to see for the next few episodes? Was today helpful? That type of feedback, greatly appreciated. All right, installed and enabled. While I wait for questions to come in, let's just kind of, great. Awesome. Yes, set up. YT DLP, as we'll need it for future agent profiles. Okay. Let's also really quickly. One thing you forgot to do is to send a forced morning brief to test the delivery and styling on Telegram and Discord. Please and thank you. All right. Sweet. Got YT DLP. This is a great solution to downloading transcripts for YouTube videos. Be warned, if you try to run 30 at once, it will block you for 48 hours. I learned this the hard way. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, of course, Cuban. Hey, I'm glad this is helpful. That's what this is all about. This is just about being of service. How much RAM does Sandbox need? You can honestly start off with 2 cores and 4 gigs of RAM, if I'm being honest. I think the sweet spot is 4 cores and 6 gigs of RAM for most setups, to where you don't need to worry about anything. But keep in mind, the more the more agent profiles you deploy that have their own gateway that are always on, and then the more automations that you create that start running somewhat in parallel, the more resources you'll need to run that, right? But I think the 4 and 6 split is a solid start, but honestly, you can get away with 2 and 4. And you know, feel it out. You're going to start to notice, like, maybe at first things are quick, things are snappy, but then you start to notice some weird delay or some weird interruption with some of the automations and flow. And that's when you go and check out that sandboxed VM, and you'll start to notice, you know, one thing I used to keep open all the time until I migrated them to new hardware. Let me pull it up for you. So you should have some type of resources app if you're using a Linux-based distro. Where's resources? Why is it called something different here? Oh, it looks like the ARM version of Ubuntu is different than the AMD 64 version. Huh. So I think this one's called Activity or System Monitor. This is where you can see, right, as things are running, I would just keep this open, right? Once you have everything set up and you're not operating out of it, just keep this open so you can easily check it out, and you can kind of see, okay, we're using, and look, you can see how much I set up here. I just set up 4 cores and 4 gigs of RAM. That's it for this demo. So it's good to always keep, like, whether you're doing Windows Task Manager or an Activity Manager open. That way, as things are running and you have a lot of things running in parallel, you can come and see how many resources is pulling, right? But I think the 4 core and 6 gigs of RAM is a great starting point. I appreciate you, Maestro. Nice. Yeah, listen, I think it's a great starting point. I think as your team builds, though, and you give it more responsibilities, then yes. And as, like, I personally noticed it when I was packing in overnight builds on my OpenClaw system way back when. I would wake up to, it would eventually work. So I didn't notice it at first, but I would go tunnel into the VM and I would notice, oh, system crashed at this time. And it was always in the middle of the night when I had the most running in the background. So that's when you just, I would try to stagger things as best as possible. If you're going to schedule any overnight crons, try to stagger them 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., etc. Don't stack a whole bunch of them to where they'll overlap too much. That helps maintain, or that helps you kind of progress with as minimal resources as possible. Once you start doing too much at once, that's when you need more. Is it B-top? Hey, alpha right there. Let's go see. B-top. Is it by Aristokratos? I'm guessing 30,000 stars. Oh, wow. Give me some more screenshots. Ooh, nice. Ooh, very cool. I like this. Alpha. Good stuff. Good stuff. Please confirm that this is the one. I'm guessing this is the one. I like this. Great resource monitor. Solid. Solid. Yep, will do. Oh, okay, so Maestro already knows. Can we do a stand-up for Hermes agents when we do multi-agent teams? Sure, sure. Yeah, Muddy and Neo, please note this down. Once we have our team operational in episode 2 and episode 3, we should create an automation where agent profiles come together and have conversations about whatever we define those stand-ups to cover, right? I have a spare Mac Mini M2 with 8 gigs laying around. Nice. That's solid. Listen, I have done so much on an M1. It blows my mind. It still blows my mind. And now I have that little mini powerhouse hosting most everything now, to where this is back to my daily driver. This is back to where I can actually put it to sleep and not have to have it running overnight, all night. Like, I was doing that for 7 months straight, where I would only restart it once a week. And this is a MacBook Pro, a 14-inch, on 24/7, running so much, and it's an M1 Max with 32 gigs of RAM. I was able to accomplish a lot with that little. It's insane. I had a few hiccups, but for the most part, it got me through a lot of work and handled a lot with those specs. So, hey, thank you. Do you use Git hooks for things like linters and unit tests? I do not, at least not yet, but this is something we can always play with if you'd like. Way to consolidate scans to a clean output to reduce costs. Yeah, so I personally don't, but as I said, this is something we can add to our list for sure. I feel like this would be a episode 4 thing, a Monday thing. I feel like this is more of a fine-tuning thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yo, what's up, Trotman? Welcome. I think you're new here. We just got done hosting episode 1 of a 4-episode Hermes Agent Bootcamp, completely free here on YouTube. We're building a Hermes Agent system from scratch, live, showing you every step of the way using ChatGPT's 5.6 Soul. So we're going to be live streaming today, obviously, tomorrow, the next, and then Monday, 4 days straight. And the raw footage will live on YouTube forever. I normally just hit it, install from Linux package manager. Ah, okay. So I'm guessing if we were to just do a sudo apt install btop. There we go. Works. And btop. Hey, looking slick. Now, give me some hotkeys. I don't want to go read the manual. Give me some hotkeys on VTop. From what I read on the repo, there's different viewpoints. So, hotkey me, Hermes, Mr. Hermes, Mr. Baker. I'm doing it in a sandboxed VM. So I am using VMware Fusion. It's completely free, right? Broadcom acquired VMware. So VMware Workstation Pro, VMware ESXi for that matter, VMware Fusion, it's all free. Since I'm on my Mac here, I am building off of that. Alternatively, you can use VirtualBox, the open source one by Oracle, I believe. You can use Parallels. You can use whatever VM software you prefer. But But yeah, we did set up, this is just how I prefer to set things up. So keep that in mind, you know, for anybody catching the end of this, you know, I'm going to reiterate, I talked about this at the beginning of the bootcamp. You know, I set this up in a way to where it's a sandboxed VM. I enabled LAN bind so that I could minimize it, keep it in the background, and then operate off of everything on my host PC that's hosting it, or any PC in my network for that matter. If you don't want that type of setup, don't follow those steps, right? If you're installing it directly onto your Mac or your Windows, then you can just think about that when you're following this bootcamp, okay? But this bootcamp is more about just foundational knowledge of initial setup, configuring things, maintaining things, building your multi-agent teams, troubleshooting, right? And then fine-tuning, wiring it all together. We will play with the desktop app in later episodes, but today was just strictly foundation. Hey, I'm glad to hear you love it. Current machine, M1 Max, 32 gigs of RAM on this 14-inch. And I bought it refurbished. I bought it when the M2s were released. I went and bought this M1 Max on eBay through, I want to say the seller was called Quality Max. And I made sure that it had low cycle count on the battery. I think it had like maybe a 10 cycle count. That's my recommendation. If you're ever shopping for a used MacBook Pro, the lower the count, the better in most all cases, right? If you buy something with hundreds of battery cycles, just understand you're buying something that was used quite a bit, you know? Now, there are the unique situations where somebody just left it powered on 24/7 and never actually let it cycle. That is actually bad for your system, but you'd be surprised how many people buy a MacBook and never use it. It just stays off or stays asleep because they bought it, they use it once or twice, and then they just don't use it, and they end up reselling it, or they end up selling it to a third party who then refurbishes it and resells it. Like, those are the deals I like to find personally. Okay, cool. But yeah, let's go back to that VM. I wonder if you gave me any hotkeys. I mean, this is the default screen. Let's see. Oh, it looks like we can select. I would imagine that. Oh, menu options. Oh, that's hilarious. Great. Boom. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Listen, now I'm going to have to install this across all of mine. I've been sleeping under a rock. Whoa. Hey, let's blind you real quick. I'm sorry, chat. Oh, I couldn't resist. Okay. Listen, I'm just going to keep it default for now. I'll play with that on other systems. Okay, right on. Yeah, I think so as well. Nice. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think we talked about that with the VM. I don't know how keys I just watched. Okay. I don't read the docs. Ask your agents. Yeah, no idea about hotkeys. Never needed to change it. Okay. When I was looking here, you see here, main UI with custom options, right? So there's like different ways to customize it, it looks like. So I'm guessing, I'm curious. Let's try to switch it to the TTY to see. But no, like the structure, I was noticing just difference in, maybe this is just a second with custom. Okay, so he created custom options for that screenshot. Got it. Yeah, we're not going to do all that. So it looks like this section was moved to the top right. This was moved up here. Got it. I see what they did with that one. What use case are the Hermes agents solving? What kind of agent team? So it's whatever you guys want to see primarily. I'm more so setting up just a foundational kind of like boilerplate that in theory anybody could copy to then replicate and expand off of. We're not building for a specific industry or a specific use case. I'm trying to build the foundation that allows you to apply it to any use case in any industry. So I'm being very thoughtful about that approach, but I'm realizing like we're going to have to get specific at some point. So we are going to build just a very basic engineering team, a very basic research team that's going to kind of combine as a part marketing team. And then what's the third option here? Forgive me. It's not top of mind. I was going to tweak that process a little bit because we are building it on the fly. As much as I wanted to predefine the bootcamp, I knew that through Q&A, I was going to get ideas to optimize it. But essentially, yeah, research, engineering, and creative departments are the 3 departments we're focused on. They're not going to be insanely large. We're just going to build what we need. And tomorrow's episode is all about talking about agents versus sub-agents versus asynchronous background tasks, when to use one versus the other, et cetera, et cetera. So tomorrow is all about building out the team itself. And then we'll add in another automation or 2 so that on Sunday's episode, we already have 3 automations rolling. Yeah, ask your agent. I bet GPT. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. GPT knows a lot. It's interactive, but I don't know. I would do hotkeys for. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, we'll find a way to. Wait, what did you pin? Are you talking about your comment from just not too long ago? Let me go scroll up. Are you talking about get hooks, or didn't you ask something previously as well? I can't scroll up all the way, so I'm gonna have to go back through and reread all the comments, unless you can reiterate for me if that's not what you were talking about. Mac of all trades in Tampa, Florida. Isn't there there's another one called It's Worth More, I think, based out of Florida. Kind of like someone you can sell your used laptop to and then they'll resell it. Otherwise, if you find a way to integrate it in a future episode. Oh, we'll definitely find a way to integrate it. If you're talking about the get hooks, we'll definitely bake that into I think episode 4, but I have a feeling you might be referencing a different question you asked early on in the live stream. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so we aren't working with Obsidian. That's a good thought. We're using the let me pull it up for you. We're using Holographic, which is, it's not enabled by default, but it's a built-in plugin right here. Memory provider, we're using Holographic. I really only wanted to depend on this VM. Now, another alternative is to use create an Obsidian vault and use that. I think that would be good practice, honestly. So let me add that to my list. Muddy and Neo, please discuss amongst yourselves when you analyze this YouTube transcript and see where we would bake this into the bootcamp. I'm just going to write on my handwritten notes here, Obsidian plus Holographic, question mark, to make me think about it throughout the day. Yeah. Welcome, Ariana. Yes, 110%. So listen, I've been very impressed with 5.6 Sol. Its ability to take a prompt, ask you the relevant questions it needs, and then just get the work done. It's freaking insane. I have built like so much in the past 24 hours. It just blows my mind. Now, are you referencing more from the perspective of having a Hermes agent do it powered by 5.6 Sol? I'm guessing you are, but I just wanted to confirm that's the question. So in this particular case, right, I would highly recommend looking into creating Dockers per client pod. So you would have to deploy a separate Hermes agent system per Docker, but that's the true peace of mind way. That's how I'm setting it up for my clients, to make sure that, you know, I have my head of clients, which is on my system, but there's going to be a one-way report back and forth. That way he can't pull from the memory of that Docker environment for that client pod. I would recommend doing it that way. That would be the move, just for peace of mind. Because you could always set rules of operation of saying, you know, this agent is not supposed to pull from this agent's memory and vice versa. And you can set all these rules and regulations, but at the end of the day, there may still very well be some bleed. So for true peace of mind, just create separate client pods. That's the move. That's the move. That's me. I got a MacBook I take to work. Nice. Nice. Just read old tweet. OpenAI is planning to give 5.6 Sol with 700 with help of Cerebras. What's Cerebras? Am I living under a rock here? Interesting. Is this who you're referencing here? I feel like I have heard of them, but this logo's familiar. Past career, network engineer. So I worked in the B2B space. Started off working in a computer shop when I was a kid, family owned computer store. So hardware, software, networking fundamentals. Started my own business, did some direct to consumer Geek Squad type competition where I did residential networking support and hardware and software repairs. But that was a pain in the ass. So I graduated, so to speak, into the B2B space because I liked working with businesses more. I liked the aspect of going into a client's office. So I worked my way up as, just a systems administrator to a network tech to junior network engineer, senior network engineer, all that. Ended up retiring from that industry in 2021 and took a few years off after my dog passed away. That really hit me hard. And then started this channel. The idea for Clearmud formed in December of 2023, but I didn't post my first video or have a plan really until the summer of last year of 2025. So it's been, I knew I was going to dip my toes and start working at some point. I had been playing with AI early on, primarily from a generative perspective. And then now how I make money is more recently, I got my first really big retainer. And that's my focus moving forward is retainers for SMBs to where, I love how Greg Eisenberg said this on one of his recent videos. I want to start using this more. I sell painkillers, but it's not what you think. I sell painkillers in the form of AI agents and solutions that are AI focused for small to mid-sized companies to alleviate that stress, reduce those pain points in their day-to-day life, free up their employees to focus on what's most important, which is generally sending out more leads, less time on those tedious tasks. So I sell AI related solutions to small to mid-sized companies now. But earlier on this year, I started building websites again because that was something I did on the tail end of my career as a network engineer, because I started kind of getting tired of the work and I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I started building WordPress based websites. And I would sell those, and then the client would either pay me for maintenance to manage it, or, the beauty of WordPress is they were able to manage it themselves. So most chose that route. So I started building websites at the beginning of the year, started doing a lot of one-on-one support. You'd be surprised just from creating all these videos on this YouTube channel. Like, I don't talk about my background that much. I don't want to use it as a this is why you should trust me. My consistency is why you should trust me, right? I continue to show up. I have a schedule. Like, this is my long-term thing. I'm not here to extract or be a short-term money maker from this channel. Like, this is Clearmud is my future. I had to take a few years off to kind of reset and figure out what I wanted to do for the next 10 to 20 years. And this is it. So I hope that gives you a quick TLDR of kind of my background and what I do for work in the present moment. But yeah, like to close that loop, the beginning of the year, I was just grinding, right? I was doing hourly jobs, project-based bids, but I'm sunsetting all of that. And the reason is I can't scale my time. I can't scale one-on-one meetings, but I can scale retainers. I can scale products. So I really want to focus on that side of the business, and that's what I do now. Didn't he ask about the SaaS example? That's right. A full stack SaaS app. Yes, we should. Yes. Let's see. I think tomorrow you're going to be here all weekend, right, Corey? Or is today the only day you're able to tune in live? I want to say tomorrow we should build our team around this. And I think by the end of tomorrow's episode, maybe let's do just a surface level prompt or set of crons that handle the research, the building, and the local deployment of it, so that on Sunday we can fine tune that automation. I love that. That's great. That's great. We will take a doc with all these commands, so easy to copy, paste, and configure. Nice. Hey, welcome AI. Hey, so alternatively, if you guys just go to prompt browser, once this is a free tool I deployed, we'll be working on it soon, but it does a pretty good job. I built it for us. You can use it for other channels to just paste in. It's completely free to use. It does have a certain limit per month, but we've never hit the limit on that API key. So 24 hours after this live stream, we can paste this live stream in here and it'll extract all the prompts we used as well. But I'm going to have my agents extract it for us as well too. So as I close out the comments, let's go pull up the dashboard. That way this is on screen. Bam. Yeah, it is. It is. Listen, I wrote it down. So let's see how we can incorporate that into the rest of the bootcamp. You've been using Minimo Scene for memory and it's been a banger. Interesting. Is that a default option here? It looks like it's not. So it's a third-party solution. Interesting. Hey, I'm glad to hear that's working for you. That's awesome. Let's go. May I ask, is it free? I use a syncing folder across machines to sync faults. Nice. Yes, Hermes LLM Wiki still impaired with Obsidian is a good move. LLM Wiki and Holographic solve different memory problems, so it's worth having them both. Yep. Okay. Looks like we're leaning towards incorporating that into this bootcamp. Can we switch our... Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We built out... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Muddy and Neo, you know, Mr. Baker and everyone here has been bringing up Obsidian. I think we should create our own wiki, right? Utilizing an Obsidian vault. So let's bake that into our curriculum. Thoughts on giving Hermes SSH access into your main machine? Probably violates core security boundary, but hey, yeah. Listen, if you want to, like, listen. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. This is why I sandbox things. I personally don't give it full root access into my daily driver. It has root access into its VM. Sure. That's why I configured it this way. And then when I need to, I can SSH into it without having to, especially my remote VMs. But as far as giving it root access to my daily driver, I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet. I think once I upgrade this M1 to an M4 or an M5 refurbished, I'm going to then use this to play with from that perspective. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I remember we kind of played with Hindsight a little bit. We didn't technically deploy one, but we looked into it on one of our live streams, thanks to you. And hey, we might have to we might have to explore that down the road. Maybe we do a memory focused bootcamp at some point. Because now that I have that hardware back there, I can deploy what I was going to call Memory OS, where I was going to test either Honcho, Hindsight, or whatever else we want hosted on its own Ubuntu server deployment. Oh, man. I wish you the best of luck, man. It's, and congratulations, you know, that's awesome, but that's tight. That's tight. I mean, hey, put your qualifications in chat right now. Maybe somebody can use you, you know, maybe somebody in here knows somebody. I don't mind. I'll pin it. Did they just sign the contract for chip productions? Is it already there? If so, damn, that was a quick turnaround. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Ooh, at this moment, I am not. I am not. I am bootstrapping this brand, staying as lean as possible. I'm always happy to chat, but just to be fully transparent, we're not hiring at this moment. Hey, right on. I'll have to, I hop on LinkedIn usually once or twice a week, so I'll make sure to accept that a little bit later today. It is Friday. It's usually my hop on LinkedIn type of day. We would use LLM Wiki and Obsidian with Hindsight and Hermes as they solve different problems, and they all complement each other. I love the chat going back and forth. Mostly open source models. Okay. Yeah, listen, I like the idea and we'll definitely incorporate it into the flow. I'm going to find a way. I think tomorrow would be the best day to make sure we build a team that supports that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep that top of mind tonight when I'm fine tuning the curriculum for the next few days. What are you saying damn for? Oh, yeah, there's a World Cup game on right now, isn't there? All right, I might have to pop that open. I cannot pop that open on stream. So, listen, I think we're at a great stopping point. If there's not any more questions, I think we'll wrap it up for today. And maybe I'll stream a little bit later. I think I want to first start to make some lunch, watch this World Cup game, the rest of it at least. And then I'm going to finish editing tomorrow's long form video that we have to finish. And then later in the day, maybe we go live and just vibe in some GPT 5.6 Soul. I'm kind of feeling like I want to. So let me know in Discord if you want to see that. I know some of us are in Europe. So that's not going to be good for you, but nevertheless, also, I highly recommend everybody, if you're not already in our Discord, it had been invite only for live stream viewers who ask for the past 6 to 7 months. But now we did open it up. So just go to clearmud.link and you see the second option here to join the Discord. And I'm going to update this. This is just kind of surface level right now. I wanted to get this out there and, right on. I'm looking forward to, hey, thank you. Appreciate your support. Yep. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. It's been real. Squirrel out. Thank you, Sharma. Hope you have a good evening. Yeah. Thanks, Trot. Hey, welcome to the channel. I think you're first time commenting from what I could tell. So forgive me if you've commented in past streams and I didn't pay attention, but I try to remember all the avatars here. And yeah, hey, listen, thanks to everybody for tuning in to this episode 1 of our Hermes Agent Bootcamp. Today was all about foundation. Stay tuned. The next 3 days, episodes 2, 3, and 4. We'll eventually have a recap episode 5 to bring it all together. And then down the road, I will put them all together in a long form video. But that's not the focus right now. The focus right now is making sure that we bring you as much value as possible in teaching you just foundational knowledge for you to deploy and build your own Hermes Agent system, completely free, never paywalled. And yeah, just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Kaval. Thank you, Trot. Adios. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Cuban. Hey, right on. Happy to have you, man. Appreciate you. Let's go. Hey, happy to hear it. Appreciate the support. Let me just go and pin some older comments here. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Flagship. Thank you, AI Tool. Thank you, Corey. And I can only scroll so far. So yeah, once again, thanks again. Hey, man, I really appreciate it. And looking forward to connecting and also wishing you the best of luck on the job hunt. And if you tune in for the rest of the live stream, make sure drop your credentials in chat. I don't mind pinning it and trying to get your credentials in front of more eyes. You know, I'll try to do my best to kind of share on our channel. You never know. There might be that one viewer who's hiring. You just never know. So yeah, listen, hope everybody has a great rest of their Friday. We'll be back at it tomorrow, same time. I decided we're going to be starting these bootcamp episodes 10 a.m. Pacific or 6 p.m. Eastern or Western Europe UTC time zone for the next 3 days. So, or through Monday. So yeah, have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers.